Hey guys, Mark V. Davies here, Bass Current Fishing. So today we're going to be doing the 6 cents tailored sack challenge. I'm going to give myself 5 hours to fish only the lures that are in this bag and try to catch a fish on each one. Hopefully more than just one. We're going to go through a rundown of what's in here. We have the Mag Dog 130, the Crush 50X, the Finesse Curve 55, the Curve 55, a lot of crankbaits, which is good because that's what's working right now, the Swim Jig, and a shaky head worm, and basically their version of the Senko, the clout worm. All these are going to be really good baits. They're going to be really easy to I feel like catch fish on. The only one that's going to give me problems is maybe the Mag Dog 130, just because of the size of it and the pressure of this lake, of how difficult it is to fish out here. This time of year, they normally don't eat very big lures, but who knows? Maybe they will this one. So I'm going to rig this up on on my topwater rod, which is a iRod Stone Cold Spook and Trap rod, and paired with a 6.2 gear ratio 200K Curado. So we'll rig this up. We'll start fishing. See if we can't get bit. Look at that. All right. So we'll have that rigged up. Now we'll go with the Curve, Finesse Curve, which is a really good bait. Kind of in a hurry to get this going. Cool little square bill, Finesse square bill. This is about the size of the bait that they're on right now. This paired up with a medium, a 7-foot medium moderate taper rod with a 50E Shimano Chronarch on like probably 10 to 15 pound fluoro. And then these last two rods, a Phoenix Rods 10X, which is another 7-foot rod, moderate fast. It's more of a medium action, moderate fast taper, and then a X13 Phoenix cranking rod. These are both extremely good rods. This color, pretty cool. I like it more during, a little bit more during the spring and not like the summer like it is now. But hey, it might work because this water's kind of dirty right now. And that's on the X13, and I put the Curve 55 on the X13, and the last one on the X10. Another nice little square bill, this Crush 50X. This is going to get bit pretty good today. Then we'll tie on those soft plastics here in a second. I just want to get this party started. I'm using a uni knot for all these baits also. Nothing, very simple knot. And this is with a 6.4 to 1 Lew's, whatever this is, a Lew's BBZ, and this is a probably like 10-12 pound mono. All right, I'm gonna set this challenge for 5 hours, and here it goes. All right, so I'm tying I'm tying the Divine Swim Jig onto a 7.4 medium heavy fast action Phoenix M1 rod with a 6.2 to 1 gear ratio Shimano Curado 200K. It's a really good setup for the swim jig. I paired it with a Zoom Pro Blue swim bait. There we go. Rigged up the Cloutworm on the Ultra MBX 7.6 medium rod. Wacky rigged with a G Finesse size 1 weedless wacky hook, and shaky head on a Phoenix M1 medium 7.4 rod with a 12-pound Asagi braid to 8-pound Sunline FC Sniper. There we go. On the Cloutworm. I knew that wasn't going to take very long. That was like the third cast. Right there, nice. Oh, Cloutworm. Got him on that. Little guy. Still a fish. Oh, oh, oh. Fuck. Ah. Ah. That was big. That was really big. That Cloutworm works. Dang it. Yeah. On the curve. Nice. This little guy. Making a mess here. This little guy. Bam. So today I did the 6 cents tailored sack challenge where I allowed myself 5 hours to only fish the baits that came in this bag, and they were the Cloutworm, the Divine Shaky Worm, the Mag Dog 130, the Finesse Curve Square Bill, this little guy right here, the Curve 55, and the Crush 50X. Bam. And it was a blast. I had probably one of the funnest days of fishing in a long time. Now, I think that's just because I forced myself to do something different. So I started off the morning with the Mag Dog 130. This is an incredible bait. It walks really well. It's loud. It has very good hardware on it. It's an excellent lure. Didn't catch anything first thing in the morning. I ended up missing one or losing one in the afternoon in the very back of the lake. I got blown up on and I lost it. I don't know how big it was. It could have been big or it could have been a little guy. Who knows? So I lost that. And then I fished all three of these different crankbaits throughout the day. And I thought this was going to be the MVP. I thought this one was going to catch them because they're on shad at the lake. Well, they weren't really on shad as much as they have been in the last couple weeks. Didn't get anything on this or this, but I did end up getting them one on the Crush 50X, which is a really good square bill. It dives 2 to 5 feet. The hardware is incredible on it. These things are good. So those, unfortunately, or they're great lures. They're just, unfortunately, this time of year or today, just they didn't work that well. And it's just how the fish were. This lake's been super pressured lately, so they just weren't on this crankbait today. But maybe they are tomorrow. That brings me to the Divine Shaky Worm. Now this is the first thing I caught a fish on this morning. I threw this on with a 3/16 ounce shaky head up into the real tight cover and ended up catching one first thing about an hour into it. And then after the challenge, I ended up throwing this and caught a bunch of fish on it. This is incredible bait. It's a 7-inch gill dust, and they're super durable. I caught a bunch of fish on these, and I only used 2 of them. I only used 2 of these baits. I caught a bunch of fish. One of my baits ended up getting bit in half. Probably a small one. But yeah, these are great lures. I've never used these before, but I'm super impressed by them, and I will be buying more. Then that brings me to the MVP of the day, the Clout Worm, 5.4 inches in worm juice. This thing is incredible. I caught a lot of fish on it. I lost an absolute giant today on it. You probably saw it in the video earlier. It looks like my drag was loose. My drag wasn't loose. That fish was just that big. I saw it. The water was pretty clear. Who knows? It was probably 7 or 8 pounder. But I mean, I hooked into that thing, and it looked like I was hung up, and it decided to go right into the trees and break me off. So I caught a bunch of fish on this Clout Worm wacky rig style with a size 1 weedless wacky hook, the Gamakatsu G-Finesse. But wow, what a great bait. These things are super durable as well. I only used a handful of them. I think 10 come in here, and I ended up only using 4 of them, and I probably caught 5, 6 fish and lost a giant on them. So I'll definitely be buying more of these, and probably more of these. I mean, like I said, I caught a fish or lost a fish on this one. It worked. This is the one I was skeptical about because it's such a big, loud bait, and this is such a finesse lake that I was at. This worked really. I mean, it surprised me. I got a really nice blow up on it. This is an incredible bait. I'm really actually looking forward to throwing this at like Lake Havasu. Some of those lakes where they'll eat a spook-sized walking bait a lot more readily. And this was the MVP of the hard baits. Got one on that, and then these 2 guys. And these are really good baits. These Curve 55s are incredible. Mid diving, 5 to 9 feet. crankbaits with really good hardware. They got these, I think they're Mustad triple grips. They sure do look like it. They're a great hook and hardware, and these are just super high quality baits. I'm super impressed by this month's tailored sack. They knocked it out of the park. If I had been on my A game a little more, I would have had a 7-8 pound fish in the boat today. So big shout out to 6th Sense for their tailored sack, and you know, keep sending them like this. These are great, and I highly recommend you guys go out and try some of these baits that I showed you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and have a great day.